Minasan konnichiwa! Hey everyone, I'm Aaliyah with Beyond the Frame, YouTube's #1 resource for everything behind the scenes of your favorite films, TV shows, and anime, and today we are talking about the season finale of Dandadan Season 2. I really like this anime, so I'm excited to go behind the scenes to talk about Okarun's Kinta coming back into play, the cultural meaning behind Vamola, the deep impact Kaiju have in Japanese lore, and why Kinta is a true Bodhisattva. So let's get into it. Okay, first things first, Okarun, hurry up and tell Momo what happened so she stops hating you. Every time I think the relationship is going somewhere, they get stuck in another situation. But this moment wasn't just for laughs. We're about to enter a new dynamic that fans have been waiting to see since season 1. And let's not forget, Okarun's voice actor, Natsuki Hanae, yes, the same voice behind Tanjiro, admitted that he loves characters who embarrass themselves. So we definitely know Okarun is living up to that reputation. But making a quick pivot, let's talk about that insane fight between the Kaiju and the Bodhisattva. This is a classic peak moment for Dandadan. The Kaiju itself is stranded of Japanese lore, massive, overwhelming, and even capable of going invisible, which ties back into folklore about creatures that exist just beyond human perception. In Japanese culture, Kaiju translates to strange creature or mysterious beast. These creatures are usually depicted as enormous or fantastical with a need to attack cities or battle other Kaiju. Think Godzilla, Mothra, or King Kong as examples. But in this series, we learn that the Kaiju is merely an exoskeleton for the person inside the suit, which we'll get to in a minute. Now, when we look at the Bodhisattva robot, we realize this isn't just any giant mecha suit. It's a love letter to all the legendary super robots we've seen in anime. Kinta has named this fighting vessel the Great Kinta Bodhisattva Zeta version, which is really ideal when you realize Kinta's heroic sacrifice to take down the Kaiju reflects a parallel theme to the selfless acts of a Bodhisattva. Dandadan takes it one step further by having Aida and Momo act as extra support in the mecha suit, which is an important component in Buddhism. All these elements in the episode ultimately tie into the spiritual layer, making this concept very powerful. In Buddhism, bodhisattvas are beings who choose to delay enlightenment to save others. So in a way, the Zeta version represents sacrifice and protection, themes woven throughout this battle. And those hilarious attack names Kinta shouts during the fight, they actually serve a purpose. Naming attacks is a common trope we see in the shonen world, enhancing the intensity of a battle. But then, in some martial arts, the idea of shouting a word can actually help the user focus their energy, improve their breathing, and intensify their attacks, as well as show respect for their opponents. So nice job, Kinta. Because honestly, he is the real MVP. This dude went full Gundam style, living his best life. The way he pilots the Zeta version with pure passion, even calling himself Great Pegasus Sakata, and throwing in nicknames like Galewind Albert is peak Dandadan comedy, but also draws attention to his growth as a character. He started out as a gag, but thanks to these moments, he has become a hero. I would also like to add that I think he was a smart choice in the Dandadan crew. The anime has slowly been pulling away from the otaku energy, which is what we started with in the earlier episodes of Season 1 with Okarun. Kinta is another take of how an otaku might look or act, especially when presented with their greatest desire. Yes, I understand he can be very annoying with plenty of other character flaws, but he's also loyal, dedicated, and a quick thinker when faced with an emergency. So I'm excited to see what he does next. Dandadan's greatest strength might actually be its willingness to drop crude humor right in the middle of a serious battle. It's this kind of humor that Tatsusan likes to sprinkle into his work to help the supernatural chaos feel more manageable. Because clearly there is more going on behind the scenes with Vamola. The reveal of her name sparked speculation with fans linking it to King Kazu, Japan's legendary soccer player who's well into his 50s, still playing professionally by the way. The reason for this connection is because of his famous catchphrase in a Japanese commercial. Also, in Portuguese, Vamola means let's go, which makes sense when you remember Kazuyoshi also played in Brazil. But that nickname, King Kazu, comes from his perseverance and utter refusal to quit. So when we look at Vamola, her loyalty and determination towards Okarun, it feels like a subtle nod to King Kazu's enduring spirit. But after all that chaos between Vamola and the crew, how does the creator decide to close it? You guessed it, with food. This is one of Tatsusan's signature moves. After fights, he always brings the characters back around a meal. And it's not random. I talked about this in my previous Dandadan videos, but Tatsusan once shared that during his early manga days, when he was a poor artist struggling to make it, food became the symbol of comfort and survival for him. So throughout the series, whenever we see characters celebrating over feasts, it's not just filler. It's him grounding the supernatural chaos back into something deeply human. An important concept we see with other popular shonen anime. But of course, before this video comes to an end, I have to share some interesting trivia facts about Season 2 of Dandadan. Fans pointed out that in some moments during the Kaiju versus Bodhisattva fight, certain visual elements like sunglasses or dramatic drawing styles felt like a shout-out to Guren Lagan, the Kamina style flair. Katsu-san once revealed that his creative inspirations, Junji Ito, aka the Master of Horror, and Ultraman, the iconic science-fi hero series, he shared that Ito-san's work has the ability to creep him out while also making him laugh, blending the emotions of fear and humor, which we see beautifully executed in Dandadan. I'm Aaliyah with Beyond the Frame. Dandadan, are we in? Are we out? What do we think? Let me know. This is such a fun series and one I know I can always go to if I want a quick laugh. I would love to know how you felt about Season 2 and what you're excited about going into Season 3. Also, if you're thinking about rewatching Season 2, then check out the video I made dedicated to the behind the scenes of Season 2, Episode 1. I'm always blown away by how much real Japanese folklore and culture is incorporated into this anime. It's absolutely insane. And as many of you already know, I'm an anime nerd with a fascination with trivia. Thanks for watching, and remember to like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Ja, mata ne!